Oh, you're recognized.
I'll yield, Senator Birch. All right. Are there any, Mr. Androphy, are any of your commission members here today?
I do not see any of them here today.
Were they invited to come today?
They were aware of the budget hearings, that's correct.
And chose not to come? Correct?
I guess so.
All right. Well, that's interesting. It being the first budget that they've ever presented to the legislature. I'm somewhat, I need more information, if I could, on a statement that you've made. As our duties and responsibilities grow, as our work expands, what basis are you basing that upon, that your duties are going to grow and that your jurisdiction is going to expand?
I'm sorry, I must have misspoken. I don't see our jurisdiction expanding unless there is some specific legislative, I guess, bill or program to do so. As I said, what I meant to say was, as we carry out our functions throughout the year, there are certain dates and occurrences. For example, we haven't reached May 15th, where the 6-month employer of lobbyist disclosure reports become filed with us. At this point, I don't know how much work that will entail for us to collect those, remind people that they have not filed, how long it will take us to audit some of those forms. We're still working with the local elected officials. We do not have all their forms. We are sending out warning letters to those who have not filed, but again, I don't know how many of those the Commission will decide to bring to a hearing, for example. So I'm sorry if I misspoke. I didn't mean that we were, it's with the existing law right now that certain of our functions will increase over time.
But to be fair, I mean, a lot of that is simply clerical, is it not? Simply receiving the form, putting the form in an appropriate file, scanning it, whatever the case may be. I mean, we're not talking anything really more than receiving documents and putting them in some classification system. Would that not be fair?
Some of it is clerical, but a lot of times there are interpretations that we'll do. There'll be, I foresee we had a huge number of questions from the local elected officials, what to put on the form, what to include, who's covered. Again, I contemplate that, for example, with the employer of lobbyist disclosure statements.
But as I recall you saying, there aren't but a little over 500 employers of lobbyists, and there are but a little over 400 lobbyists. So we're talking a universe of 1,000 people. I mean, are we not?
Correct.
And we're talking about a form that 1,000 people have got to send in. Right. Now, and if we're auditing 2% of those 1,000 people, then aren't we auditing 20 of them?
The statute says we have to do a minimum of 2%.
Right.
That's correct.
Well, is this commission, not having any commission members here to ask, but has the commission discussed auditing greater than 2%?
We haven't had those discussions yet. I'm sure we'll have those in the near future.
But I guess the point being is we're talking, I say one of your, not to belabor the point, but one of your audit requests is for an investigator and for an auditor. I mean, we're talking 20 audits. I'm going to need some backup on why we've got to hire a person whose sole purpose is to do 20 audits. I have some concern about that. I just want to let the committee know about that. And could you explain to me the issue of